Alright guys, we're back on another Dokkan Battle video, and today we officially got a hint for the Part 2 Carnival LR coming up for Part 2 of Android 16's Celebration. Now, what we've been talking about for a little while now, we've been speculating a lot of things, is that this is probably some sort of a Trunks or a Hybrid Saiyan, is kind of what we're more leaning towards here. Now, here, I mean the numbers, right, 12/15, that's just going to be the release date. So they usually go by PST. So if it releases at midnight on EST usually, which is my time, it'll be the 16th. However, it would be like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., whatever on PST. So 12/15 is the release date. Now the big thing here, it could be, I mean, this looks like Stranger Things to me. like we get in the Demogorgon LR here. But yeah, so we got the numbers here. We got 12/15 and then a slash. So this is usually signified to divide the date, right? The slash right here. This could also be a deeper meaning. You know, this is definitely a hint of some sort. So going by the coloring, going by the actual like slash through the screen, I do have a couple ideas here. There's probably more out there, I'm sure. But for right now, we're gonna go over these ones. So stick with me here. Now, I do believe this does have to be some sort of bond of master-disciple and Hybrid Saiyan. Now I'm locked into that. At least Bond of Master and Disciple, right? And for that, I just think Hybrid Saiyans makes the most sense, just because we've been getting like the Trunkses, you know, everything with the Hybrid Saiyan mission, and I just believe that we're gonna see something that is tied towards this category. Now this kind of leads more into Trunks. This leads more into Gohan. Piccolo is there. He's obviously not a Hybrid Saiyan, but he is a big part of Bond of Master and Disciple. And then if we look at Hybrid Saiyan, obviously that leads us into Trunks and Gohan. Now, I've been thinking a lot more of Trunks because we've got the EZA for his Dokkan Fest. We got the World Tournament Awakening. There is an LR EZA that should be coming down the pipe pretty soon, probably next week sometime. And I am pretty convinced that it's going to end up being the future Super Saiyan Gohan and Trunks. I believe it's going to be this character here. So if we think this hint here and we think of the slash, right? This moment here, Trunks first arrives, he gets out the sword, he dices up Mecha Frieza, he like butchers King Cold and the entire Frieza force. So I think that this could be good, right? We do have this character, obviously, as we can tell right here. We do have him as an LR, but I think it's time for an update for this guy because he's not very good, right? This is such a cool character. This is such a cool moment, you know, Trunks arriving, going Super Saiyan, realizing that there's more Super Saiyans out there, and then just completely decimating Frieza in like 10 seconds. Like it's absolutely insane. So getting another Trunks of this moment, I think is definitely on the table. I definitely think it would be good, and I think it kind of goes with this hint here of like this slash going across, right? That's the sword slicing through. Now the other thing that literally jumped out to me when I saw this, because of the line, because of the coloring, it was this. Now I don't believe we'll get a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, just because we did just get one for anniversary. And I think that them doing this moment again is definitely overkill. I do know that they love Gohan, but I don't believe that we'd see this again. Like this just seems to be an overkill if they were to go like this. So the thing that did in fact stand out to me, this. What if the Part 2 Carnival is a Beast Gohan? Now, Beast Gohan, you know, we do have an LR of him in the game. There's only one Beast Gohan in the game. You know, we do have the active skill from the physical Ultimate Gohan, which is fine. Like the active skill is great. It's beautiful. We did finally get the actual LR Beast Gohan, you know, for the 9th anniversary. But we haven't seen Gohan here in about 2 years, right? Because he came out on JP first. So it's been almost 2 years since we've seen Beast Gohan. Could this be a possibility of Beast, right? Because the only thing that gets me here is, you know, you've got the slash that cuts across the screen, the coloring of it, you know, the red when he starts like actually transforming, the whole screen kind of goes red behind him. And I think that could, signify this here. Again, this could mean nothing. This could mean something. But to me, this is a very big possibility. Now, if it's not a Trunks, which I think is like my number one choice here, or my number one idea, I guess, would be Trunks, because I've been saying it all along. I think Trunks is kind of like the guy. I think it's kind of pointing towards him in some way. If it's not, and this actually points towards a new Beast Gohan, I would actually be ecstatic. I think that would be so cool. Get another Beast in there. Really, there's not much like they can really do for Beast. I mean, they can, right? Because they can do like the Dokkan original stuff, which they kind of did do already with this Beast Gohan. But I mean, how much can you really pull from like 15 seconds of screen time? Like he's not on the screen very long. He doesn't do very many attacks. So there's only so much they can do, and especially with like a Carnival LR, like you're thinking at least 2 super attacks, maybe an active, so there's things here that make me think maybe not so Beast, but definitely more so Trunks. However, it's definitely on the table. If you look at the coloring scheme, if you look at everything here, dude, it's not cut and dry, but my immediate thoughts when I saw this, when I woke up this morning, was Trunks and Beast. So those are my picks. Those are what I'm locking in. I'm not gonna drag this out too long. I think we're gonna wrap it up here because there's not much more to talk about with this. But I do believe it's got to be some sort of Bond Master Disciple, at least related to. It's got to be, not you, some sort of like hybrid Saiyan. And a lot of this just comes from like the Stone Shop, right? So the red Stone Shop gives you the choice of like these category characters for 2 stones. And last year this did mean something, so I'm expecting it to again. So that's why I'm very tied into this Bond and Master Disciple. And I mean, you got Gohan, Trunks, Piccolo. It just makes sense, right? So either a Trunks, I doubt a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but it's never off the table because they love Gohan, and a Beast Gohan are my top 3 choices, are my picks that I think we could see coming up for part 2. So looking forward to this dropping on, if depending on where you are, 15th, 16th is when this will drop, is when this will come out. It should be like midnight EST on the 16th. So yeah, dude, I think this is gonna be a good one for sure. Very much looking forward to this, and I think it's gonna be very fun. So I think that's gonna do it for the video today, guys. So if you guys stuck around to the end, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me in my ramble sesh. Let me know what you guys think of this hint. Let me know what your picks are, what you guys are seeing, what you guys are thinking, and drop it down in the comments below and let's discuss, because I love this part. I love this stuff, man. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.